Hey everybody, hey guys over here. Want to take a few minutes of your life and go over the Great California Shakeout planned for October 21st. That's Thursday. And we have a lot of new employees, several new teachers, many new staff members. So since we haven't been doing these kinds of things for about a year and a half, I thought maybe we would take some time and talk through what you should expect mañana. So we're not going to be using the fire alarm. You'll simply hear an announcement coming across the PA saying, "This is the drill, please drop and cover." At which point your students are going to be dropping and covering. Hopefully practice that once. If you haven't, tomorrow will be a good opportunity to do so. And then and incidentally, the teachers should also duck and cover so that the kids can see that it's an entire classroom operation. It isn't just the kids are doing it. The teachers should also duck. The paraeducators should also duck under some structure. Okay, then we will come back on to the PA and announce that please begin the evacuation process, at which point the real drill begins. This is what I mean by that. This becomes an opportunity for all of us as educators and adults on campus to assert our control. This has to be one of those times where the kids know that the normal relationship between teacher and student is gonzo. Now it's about do exactly what the teacher tells you and don't do anything else. So I understand it's not really going to be like that, but my ask of you is to try to create that character to the evacuation process. It becomes a good opportunity for the kids to go, okay, if this stuff really goes down, I need to turn off the socialization button, right? They need to turn off their phones, at the very least, not be calling people on their phones right away. It's very important that everybody keeps their stuff to themselves, because once kids start making phone calls to their parents, not during the drill, but during a particular, hopefully never coming, a disaster, then the parents are going to be getting different kinds of information. And we don't want that. We want the communication to be as channeled as possible. Again, I understand. We're just looking at an ideal scenario. So you are walking your students out according to the guidelines, and you're going to be meeting out onto the muster field, which is again on the green PE field out there. And of course there are 8 lines. The leadership team is putting up big signs on the new temporary fencing for where the lines should be. And the idea is that you're taking your students and you're stationing somewhere along the field in the order that's listed on the emergency evacuation area map. If you are not assigned to a classroom with children during third period, I'm talking about AVID tutors, paraeducators, cafeteria workers, teachers on prep, then you are going to, after you've taken, you're going to be meeting at the campus center, right? That's one of the things that we've changed as a result of doing these drills. That in the past, we used to have the emergency operations center be somewhere in this area, and we've come to determine that that's not a good idea. So we moved the whole center to be right smack dab in the middle of our campus center. So everybody's going to convene there. Meanwhile, the teachers who have students are guiding their kids out onto the muster field and setting up in lines. Now, I probably forgot to say this, because I always forget to say this. Don't forget to take your red backpacks, and don't forget to take a pen with you. If you don't have a pen on you normally, maybe put a pen in that red backpack right now, because once you get out onto the field and your kids are COVID social distancing space apart from one another, and we can do that. Let's spread out across the field. In the past, we've really compressed. We've almost taken up only half the field. But we can spread the classrooms out. We can spread the kids out a little bit, because we'll have several teachers out there watching the students. The teachers are then going to take their third period roll call. Again, you should all already have the your I'm sorry, I'm blanking. Your rosters, sorry. Thank you. Ms. Herman's printed out all your rosters and put them in your mailbox. And the idea is you're just going to take roll real quick once you're out on the field, right? It's not just taking roll when the class starts, but once you get out to the field, please go through the process of taking roll again. Because remember, the idea is for the kids to experience what the timing will be like, what they should expect next. Now, you're seeing a missing student report. Again, these should be in your red emergency folders. If you don't have any kids that are missing, absent, or injured, don't write anything on the student names, but please write your name, print your name under the reporting teacher, and print your room number. Please don't sign, because sometimes it's squiggly. We don't know who the teacher is. But if you do have kids that are absent for that day, you're going to have to list them in this missing student report. Or if they just kind of decided to go to the bathroom without telling you, you've got to list them on this missing student report, and then you're going to hand this student report up to your line lead. The line leads are basically the folks that are at the very top of the muster field. So Mr. Velasco is the line lead for line 1. Ms. Zamudio is the line lead for line Ocho. And Mr. Gonzalez then will come around and he will collect all of the missing student reports. So we should have one student report from every single teacher, regardless if there's anybody's missing, absent, or injured. So once Mr. Gonzalez collects all of those things, he's going to bring all of that stuff to the Emergency Operations Center where Dr. Cicada and myself and the rest of the team are going to sort through the papers to see, are there kids that we need to track down? Are there injured children that we need to find? And it's at that point that we're going to prioritize where do we go search and rescue. We're going to prioritize whether or not we need psych services, right? Maybe psych services needs to be absorbed into the first aid team of some sort, right? So we'll make the determinations there, and then we'll disperse. And the big thing is going to be the Student Release Center, which is in the by the blacktop basketball courts, by the boys' gym. There's a big fence there. And at that point, once the team has met with the Emergency Operations Center, once all the line leads are, all of the team managers are there, and all of the paraeducators and all of the teachers on prep are there, and we've made the determination as what we're going to do, Mr. Serrano and perhaps a few of you will then quickly run out, set up some tables in the Student Release Center, set up some chairs. Meanwhile, Ms. Garcia, our new registrar, is coming out there with our binders, which are our directories of where the students are, who the students are, who we can release the kids to, who has health issues that we need to be aware of. And we're going to then simulate one time runners running out, getting kids, and bringing them back to the Student Release Center. So I'll talk you through that at this point. So at the Student Release Center, a parent will come up to the table and say, "Hi, I'm here to pick up Joselito Reyes, my boy." The Student Release Center team members are then going to check identification with the person, whether it's a California ID, if it's a driver's license, some sort of identification, because we simply cannot release to somebody that we don't know, right? Just because they say so doesn't mean it is so. And as a result, we've got an alternate identification process as well if the parent doesn't have something, but the general idea is they need to present identification. All of the information on the student release form will be filled out by the student release team members, and the form you're seeing now will be handed over to one of our some 15, 20 runners or so. You'll see what it says on the line. It's in the runner section. It says what line you're to go to. Is it line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Who's the teacher that you need to go to get this kid? Joselito Reyes, ID number, birth date, and so forth. The teacher will then bring the child over to you, and the teacher who is delivering the kid to you will initial the document that he or she has now released custody to the runner. And the runner then escorts the child back over to the Student Release Center, and we file the paperwork and release the kid to the parent. Now, again, I know it's not going to be as beautifully orchestrated as that in a real disaster, but we need to practice the ideal. We need to do what we can so that if these kinds of things occur, that we have a little bit more of an instinctual response because we practice processes. We know where things are. Or we might just run. No, we can't run. We can't run. We have to take care of the kids, and we need to do what's right for ourselves as well as our students. The evacuation should take 9 minutes. So from the time we signal, please begin the evacuation from the building out. The idea is to be able to get everybody out onto the muster field, roll taken, and the missing information student form handed to Mr. Gonzalez in a 9-minute period. Now, I know it's going to be tough. The first time Nessa and Dr. Skinner and Mr. Torres did this, we ran 14 minutes. The second time, we ran 12 minutes. And the third time we did it, 9 minutes. That was our top. Technically, it was 9 minutes, 41 seconds, but I'm calling it a 9-minute jobber. But we haven't been doing this for a while. So what I'm asking all of you to do kindly is to please take this opportunity to create the right affect for the kids. Recognize that it's not about a speed thing. We're not trying to create a competition thing between, hey, let's see if we can get out there quicker than anybody else. The idea is order. Order is the name of the game, mañana, and your assertion of control over the students at a more vigilant level. I know, of course, you guys have fantastic control over the kids, great classroom management, but we need to ratchet it up a little bit, and the kids need to sense that in the case of an actual drill of this nature, or something like this actually occurs, they've got to come correct. All right, guys, if you have any questions, just give me a call. Thank you so much for your time. Hey, look, it's only a 10-minute video. Not bad.